Yep. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jaded Talk number 33. Today we're going to talk about Book 4 of Young Jedi Knights, Lightsabers.
Woo!
Yay. Party.
Yeah.
The best book. Like, I haven't finished Book 6. It's the best book of the first story arc, the Shadow Academy arc. There's no doubt about that. I haven't finished Jedi Under Siege. I don't believe it's going to, like,
It's
get a
not.
big redemption.
It won't.
Yeah, so...
Though I'm really not sure how Lightsabers is considered the best Young Jedi.
It's the
Knights
best
book
because
period.
Pico kept saying, "Oh, people say it's
Exa-
the best."
I don't know why people keep saying this.
It's the
Who
best of
are
the first
these
arc.
people?
That's definitive. but
Everyone
that's
that I've talked to,
Brennan, Matt Wilkins, so on and so forth.
probably
Everyone.
them.
Just name everyone in that crowd.
Just been
and
successfully
they'll all
gaslit.
agree.
all.
I've you know what? I've never heard people point out one specific book as the best.
Let me just search Reddit because
Yeah.
I'm not sure that
Maybe
people
it's
are
like-
aware of enough of the individual books to like make that determination.
Maybe it's
I
like this
don't
is the
know.
turning point when it actually gets good for people.
I think
Maybe
most
they
people just separate it by storyline. Like,
I guess.
Fabe speak English or German if you by some chance know it, I guess, but
I doubt he does.
I doubt he does.
I mean, he's making progress. It looks like it's half Swedish, half English.
Exactly, yeah. I see Greyholm there gathering. Yeah, it's a gathering, and Greyholm is here, so that's something. Yeah. Yeah, book 4. What is there to say? Yeah, Hapes is like Wakanda, but for women. That's really the. At some point, like we're gonna speak about it. At some point, I just had this moment when I realized, wait, this is exactly the same. At least to me, it was. Maybe I'm just crazy because I had both places, but yeah.
Do we want to talk about the cover first?
wait, guys.
Sure. Yeah.
I found something which is truly mind blowing.
Uh-huh.
There's this guy on YouTube who ranked all his Young Jedi Knights books. His second favorite is lightsabers. Guess what his favorite is?
Heirs of the Force.
Hmm?
Heirs
No,
of
it's
the
not.
Force. Oh, okay.
No.
The Lost Ones.
Yes.
Crisis at Chris.
Why?
Oh no.
What is? Nothing
haven't
happens
watched-
in the Lost Ones. There's nothing, and everything that is happening
He's
is shit.
probably a Zach fan. I'm just going to send it in case anyone wants to sit through it.
How can you say nothing happens in the Lost Ones? It's Zack's beginning of his journey to the dark side.
He,
When
Yeah,
he ate
I
that
ate a
goddamn
bouquet. Now I'm evil. Oh, it
Hello,
doesn't
Marcel.
delete. That's cool. Yeah, there you go.
That's changed. Good to see. Anyway, yes, someone likes the Lost
Yes.
Ones more than any other Young Jedi Knight book.
I agree with Marcel. Yeah, hello Marcel, by the way. And yeah, like
That's certainly a choice.
it's a choice. I mean,
Best of all time.
if he says he is it's his favorite, I'm like, okay, you have questionable taste. I don't know if he claims it's the best one. That would be oof. But like even more so, I guess. I know what that word means, and I agree. Yes, he is indeed a.
Oh no, you're learning Swedish through this.
I'm learning Swedish because of Young Jedi Knights. Yeah, the cover. I mean,
I think it's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
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 Channel Cow once again. She looks best on the cover. She's like
She looks like Mira from Aquaman.
Oh yeah, now that yeah.
I think it's like the green dress. Are you dying?
Yeah, don't die now. It's too early.
Last
I think-
month, me coughing.
I think the worst thing about the cover is Luke's face.
Yes.
Yeah,
He looks more like Chewbacca than Luke.
the eyes. It's something with the eyes.
Mhm.
I think the nose is off. Yeah, something is just.
He looks
weird.
like a corpse.
Yeah.
It's also the coloring because Dorman drew him inside the water for some reason.
Oh yeah, true. Right.
So he-
I like how it says
He
best-selling
looks like a sea
authors.
zombie.
Yeah.
But I like how it says best-selling authors of Heirs to the Force and Shadow Academy, leaving out the Lost Ones.
As it should be.
They didn't know it was a bestseller yet.
Yeah,
Mm.
even with like best-selling author, which is like really a worthless, a worthless metric. Even that couldn't make it here. Like the
Yep.
Lost Ones was so shit, it didn't even make it to this fake like honor here. Yeah, we have Jason and Jaina. They have these thingies because lightsabers, so they hold lightsabers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got lightsabers and they're fighting the training droids from
There's
episode
like
4.
there's like space Alcatraz behind them.
It does look like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the again. I don't know that the title is somewhere in my notes. Rifheim is the German title of this remote island where Tion's like royal family resides, and
You mean
Tion.
General Khan, not
Tion.
yeah,
Tion's royal family.
Tion's royal family. That would have been funny. They all could have Mother of
That would have
Pearl.
been cool.
Yeah, they all just sing Kumbaya in like a big orchestra. No,
Well,
yeah.
if you think
Cannot-
about it, grandmother did sing.
That's
We found that out
true,
in Firefly.
actually.
So yeah, why not? Let's do it that way. Sure.
Is it just me or do these training droids look like flying rocks?
No, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
because it's not that detailed. I think, or maybe it's just the quality of the picture that I have here.
Let me look at mine.
But yeah, for the first time, we don't have Kevin J. Anderson trying to get plus points, if you want to call it that, with being the author of the Jedi Academy trilogy. Maybe that's why this book is marginally better than the others. I think. Maybe.
And as you can see, the best-selling saga continues.
The best-selling saga continues. I mean, obviously not totally best-selling. There's something missing here. But yeah, the title lightsabers, I mean, they get lightsabers. Yeah.
For some reason, Luke
Is that
decides
the
they're ready.
lamest title in the series?
Yeah. it is.
No, Darkest Night is.
Darkest
because of
Night's
how
up
it
there.
comes out.
I mean, Darkest Night.
It
At
tries.
least
It
that's
shouldn't be, but
somewhat
it is.
intriguing. Lightsaber
think-
is just like, oh yeah.
I think the lost ones might be worse
I'm
because
figuring
with
it out,
context,
it's-
it's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I
like
think Darkest Night is worse in context.
I guess without any of the knowledge of what's actually in the book, it's just lightsabers. It's like if there was a book that was just called Starship, or like Blaster, or
Mhm.
Helmet,
Bloodlines.
Blood, or Betrayal, or Sacrifice, or yeah, okay, you get the gist.
Oh, Exile.
Exile. Yeah, so like without any knowledge of the actual book, yeah, that's like the worst title. And yeah, the German title, I mean, they weren't gonna do anything here. It's literally lightsabers. So sure. There you go. The cover is not bad. But I think
I just found out why it looks like Anchor Rock. Some of the Young Jedi Knights books have this embossing thing, including mine.
Mm.
So there's a really weird texture on top of the rocks.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah. It looks
popping
quite
out,
different.
kind of. Okay, that makes sense actually.
yeah.
okay, yeah.
It-
We have
there's a
something.
pattern too.
The omnibus we have in German, it also, so the omnibus for like book 4, 5, and 6, it's like the cover of this, it's the cover of lightsabers, but it's like darker, like the general color
Hmm.
palette, I guess it's just darker, but it's literally the same picture. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, we have we have even more guests. Hello, Josh. There you go. Everyone wants to talk about peak fiction here, I guess.
I mean, it is the best Young Jedi Knights book.
It's true.
Somehow.
I mean, Arc 1, I agree.
Hello. People in 2018 told me on a Facebook page once, so it's true.
Based off their reading experience
all the
from
time,
the late
so it's
90s.
true.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. Like, read it in the late 90s, then never again, and now it's like, yeah, that was the best. Okay, sure. I don't believe it.
Matt Wilkins says it, so it has to be true. That's the ultimate evidence.
True. As we know, yeah.
Mm.
So, I guess let's just start because, well, want to get this over with. Chapter 1. Yeah, so Luke does something that I never thought I would see this like in my entire
But you
Star
probably
Wars
wrote down the
reading.
exact same thing I did.
Probably, I hope so. He bought a battle squadron to Yavin 4. So there's
I don't
people
even
there.
remember this.
There's people there. They have weapons, and I guess they're gonna defend the place now. I mean, they'll kind of do a shit job at it. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, it took like 15 years. This academy was like at the brink of destruction multiple times.
Let's count it. Darksaber, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Read-
and now this is gonna be the next one.
This is gonna be the next one.
And
I was like,
quickly, because you
Yep.
guys know that Dougie tried to read this series to his daughter, and he gave up. So
Oh,
I just
yeah, I
asked
forgot
because I
that.
was curious if he reached lightsabers and like if he would agree it's the best book. So I asked him, when did you give up on rereading the series to your kid? And he was like, "Oh, I read the Lost Ones and I gave up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
If
Though,
you
on that note,
You,
I should probably jump off now
you
because we're
get to
starting chapter
sleep,
1. So,
you nerd.
yes,
exactly,
I need to sleep. So,
you gotta catch sleep for Asian schools. That's like a must.
yes.
Need to survive. All right. Thanks for staying
now.
for these few minutes and have a nice evening.
All right. See you next time, hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, an era of hubris comes to an end. Luke brings people with weapons to this place. That was crazy. Yeah, and he changes, I guess, his approach. He's like, hey, my students, can you study like harder, please?
Yeah.
Because
I love that part.
it's like
We're gonna
yes,
it's different now. We're gonna study harder.
exactly, yeah.
We're gonna
it's
rush your training so that the New Republic has terrible Jedi Knights to defend it.
Yeah, like, hey,
That's the
do
worst
whatever you
part
want.
ever.
Yeah,
You
do
have
whatever you
you have
want.
Kyle Katarn. You have
No.
Jaden Core, you have Koran, you have Silga, you got Ikrit, you got Tion, you got Cam.
Seducer, yeah.
I mean, Cam doesn't exist occasionally.
Yeah, obviously,
so-
he never exists outside of iJedi and Union, I think. I've never heard of Cam Seducer ever again. Like,
Well,
that's
he's
kind
just
of
taking
telling.
over, watching over the little kids with Tion,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah, and I'm like, okay,
What's
so
up, Kip?
I don't know where he is. He's doing nothing. Like, maybe he's on a
Where's Kip?
meditation session with Dorsk82 or something. I don't know.
Guys, you have to make notice of this. When Kip shows up, because I remember he does show up eventually in one of the books.
He does,
Yeah.
Yeah, make note what he says, like, hey, where have you been?
Oh no, it's got to be retarded.
I'm pretty sure I distinctly remember him just like explaining the plot to Leviathan to Han, implying that Han hasn't seen him since the Jedi Academy trilogy.
That's
Reminder, in
so funny.
Crimson Empire 3, Han is cleaning up some of the mess after Planet of Twilight, and like Leviathan is set around that time. It's confusing because Kevin contradicted himself.
Oh, what? That's unbelievable.
He places inside the comic. He places Leviathan in 12 ABY, and then in the essential chronology, he places it at 13 ABY.
Sure,
Master of continuity.
Does time really matter? Like, honestly. But yeah, and I was like, isn't he teaching like since 10 years at this point? Like, where is everyone? Like, where are the people that he taught? Like, what did he do? It's been 10 years. Where is everyone?
As we know from the Bantam era, Luke was a shitty teacher and he was barely at the academy. Remember Black Fleet Crisis?
Fair
He
enough,
just
yeah.
left.
Planet of Twilight,
He
Darksaber.
left Streen in charge.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
mean-
fucked off with his stupid girlfriend of a week
Yeah.
to go to Hoth and fight the Wampa that he cut the arm off.
That whole thing, it's like Luke had a Las Vegas like wedding, and now he has to stay committed to that horrible woman, and he's like 1 week, and then it's like, yeah, we're done. Whoops. Oh, good on you, Superman Rebirth. Yeah, I unfortunately chose to pause reading Superman and manga because I'm like, I want to get this done with. So I'm not reading Superman Rebirth right now, but great that you are, because that's fantastic. You did, yeah. He was here for just a few minutes, but he has this thing called school, so he has to like sleep, kind of, which is kind of cringe. But oh well, we'll let him. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, and now okay, everyone is training, and of course, like force powers are a big part of that. And Jason thinks about how Tenel Ka fights and trains. and she mostly apparently still like uses javelins. So she's like throwing spears, and that's like her fighting style, I guess. And he thought about it. I might just recommend to her that she should redirect her javelins with the force to like make them more effective.
No.
And then not only that's okay, yeah, good idea. If for whatever goddamn reason you're gonna fight with javelins, yeah, you might as well manipulate them with the force. But he thinks about actually recommending it to her directly, and he's like, she would probably attack me intensely or throw me to the ground. Like, why? Over a simple recommendation, like, hey, you have this thing called the force. That's kind of the point why you're here. Like, why you go to the academy if you're just training as a normal fighter anyway? So you might as well use the force. Like, But I guess he never tells her, at least not that I'm aware. So, yeah, Jason and Jaina, they really seem to have either shit friends or shit expectations of their friends.
He's got the I could fix her, but whatever the fuck is wrong with her is way hotter attitude going on.
Yeah, and sure. Yeah, you know what? He's a guy. He has his
I
weird
get
taste.
it. I get it.
Yeah.
And if you think about it,
They are indeed not adults, so they are kids, kind of, in a way. So I do consider that whenever I read anything here. And yeah, now the group, like the students, will build lightsabers. Yep, okay, sure. So chapter 2, yeah. So the gang, they will build the lightsabers, and they are now trying to find their the proper lightsabers. That's kind of big part in the beginning, like everyone trying to figure out like, oh, which crystal am I supposed to get? Because here, of course, you just can get any type of crystal, which makes more sense than like kyber crystals only. Like,
So not be confused with kyber crystals, by the way.
I wonder if ABGP
They're very
on
different things.
this
True.
and like had a mention of Illum.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, one dedicated lightsaber planet, isn't that so cool?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jaina, so I guess the way that they get their crystals is supposed to like be reflective of their character and kind of works. So Jaina, she has like an oven, and she's crystallizing her own crystal like in an industrial way. I guess
I'm imagining like a little girl's fake baking oven, like
like she's like
Jaina made it in an easy bake oven.
she like has those those few cent gems or something that you can like buy at a store, and she just puts them in there like, please make a crystal, and it's just nothing happens. Yeah, why not? Oh yeah, Jason. Okay, Jason uses his Coruscant gem that he found in book 2. Sure. What else are you gonna do with that thing? And oh yeah, Chewie. No, Chewie. Lowie. Sorry. Fucking Wookiees. Lowie. He finds one in like an old like projector or something, a projection system. There's like some crystal in there that hasn't been harvested for. I mean, I guess it has no purpose otherwise. Well, sure. And
so
yeah.
they're using lightsaber crystals to power TVs.
I guess more so they're using TV crystals to power lightsabers,
Nice.
which is a substantial
Why
difference.
not just you know what? Why not just say fuck it and have one of them use a battery pack?
Wasn't that
Which is can't. That's the thing in Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah,
the Jedi
exactly.
charge their lightsabers.
Wasn't that the thing in Splinter of the Mind's Eye as well? Like they have batteries.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to load the lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. There was no lore, so what else are you gonna say? But yeah, just like a AA battery, slam it in there, man. It's gonna work. Imagine you're like in a
and as we know from like X-Wing Mercy Kill, there are people on Coruscant selling fake toy lightsabers like we have in the real world. Imagine them just getting one of those.
Why not? Hey, it might as well work.
It would be less dangerous in the training sessions.
True, but imagine you have like a big important boss battle, and your lightsaber turns off, like the battery's empty.
That'd be
so
crazy.
Like, wait. I have to switch it out quickly. Give me a moment.
It like your hand gets chopped off or something.
Oh yeah, that would be. I mean that's never gonna happen though, right? So
Mhm.
we don't have to think about that. Yeah, chapter 3. Now we're in Tenel Kar's POV, and she's kind of surprised that the others are so far ahead of her in regards to like constructing a lightsaber, even though she explicitly spent 5 days only on training instead of like looking for material. Like she acts surprised, like, oh damn, now I really gotta catch up. It's like, yeah, you didn't do anything for 5 days. Like, what
It's
do you
crazy
expect?
how if you just go to the gym for 5 days and do nothing else, you don't have
Yeah, like,
anything to do.
you know, if you really need
You're on progress.
groceries, oh no. Yeah,
Pretty much this.
maybe this is like when I see this, I think of Peckham from this series, and when I see Chris, then I would think of Zach. Like, they just gave me that weird vibe. Yeah. So like, if you really need groceries and you just go to the gym for 5 days straight, and you come back home, as it turns out, there won't be any groceries in your like in your in your fridge. Still, like, they don't appear magically. That's crazy. Yeah, MTD, he still has this thing of like occasionally just translating things incorrectly, which like
It's funny.
it defeats the only purpose he has, like, as a being. I'm sorry, like, I mean, 3PO, he translates correctly, like, so I don't get that, but okay. Yeah, so Tenelka, she gets her materials. She has a Rancor's tooth that she wants to use as a handle, and she takes a like crystal from an active volcano. So, I mean, as far as I understood, it's supposed to be active because it's really hot in there. And
Yes,
I guess
it's active. It is active.
it is active. So
Why?
So we have like a jungle plant. Like, I get it's humid in there, but it's lava, okay? Like, if that thing erupts, isn't that whole place just like done for? Yeah, but we have an active volcano, and a 14-year-old goes there in there alone. Like, remember, if she trips and falls into lava, Luke will somehow have to explain to the Hapes where their like crown princess is. Like, oh, oopsie.
Your daughter fell into a pool of lava. Sorry.
Yeah.
I told her to go make a lightsaber. Something
just-
she also shouldn't have right now because she's 14. And
Yeah. And it's like a dangerous weapon.
she's
and
just doing it herself. No big, no supervision or anything. You know,
nothing. Yeah, everything's
figure it
working.
out. Just here's the parts you need. Good luck.
Yeah, bye. But no, she's going out there. She's hunting for crystals in a volcano. And yes, so then she starts building it together. So she has all her materials. She starts building a lightsaber, and she immediately notices that there are a bunch of flaws in her lightsaber, and specifically with the crystals. But then she's like, oh, it's too late to search for more now, so I can't like repair it. So I'm gonna just accept this shitty lightsaber. And like, okay, you are kind of in a rush because you know you're fucked. Like, your whole place is kind of fucked. But like, Luke's not gonna fail you because you haven't built your lightsaber. So I don't get. She tries to give off the sense of urgency when there really is none.
Denningverse Luke would totally punish her for not doing her homework.
Like whipping her or something. That would be cool. I guess that's something that he would do. Doesn't like Lumaya have a whip as a weapon? Isn't that
Yes,
the weapon?
the
He's
light
probably
whip.
into that then. He's a weirdo, so yeah. Okay, I'm like, oh, I can't see any possible way how this could turn out bad.
We'll see. It's set up and payoff. That's the genius of Kevin J. Anderson.
Exactly. We always complain about, oh, there's no setup. Now he gave us a setup, and we're still not satisfied. Maybe it's us. That's maybe we are the problem.
It's
Perhaps.
right there. Just got to read the book.
Exactly.
Just because it's stupid doesn't mean that it's not in the book.
Hey, but have you considered that in some contract with Bantam Spectra, it said that there were going to be young adult books, so these are books for teenagers, so it's fine.
Oh, they're books. Okay, so they're for teenagers, so it's okay if it doesn't make any sense and destroys the entire universe. Okay.
Of course, like it's not like there's any good teenage content, like I don't know, anything else. Literally, like it's all shit.
Junior Jedi Knights, which
No,
is
that-
for
that-
even
that
younger
doesn't exist.
children.
That doesn't exist actually. I don't know if you knew that.
Of course, yeah. Why would I even try to like make up something? That's stupid. Yeah. So chapter 4. Okay. So the kids they started sparring.
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah. They have wood sticks. That's a good idea. They use them against sparring droids. I don't know since when they exist, but good that they do because that's a good idea. And of course against each other as well. But then they construct their lightsabers. Then they practice with those lightsabers for a week. And they now, like after a week, they start sparring against each other.
Yeah.
Like
you don't need to know how they learned how to use blades. That's not interesting at all. You don't like. Yeah, sure, they learn how to parry and slash. That's lame. Why would you want to hear about that?
yeah.
They
Like
just they just know.
Also, that's very hard to write.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It took quite a while until I like back when I did kickboxing. It took quite a while until I was like sparring with somebody. You know why? Because you're shit. That means you're gonna hurt somebody or yourself. Like, why? Okay, whatever. Sure. And like if you all of this is like you gotta understand like and the second half of this entire arc, the last 3 books, 4, 5, 6, they're all about defending themselves against the Shadow Academy. That's the entire thing. And like if you really want to defend yourself against Brakis, just get a fucking fleet. Like why would they even land to do a ground assault? They can just fly. You have no ships there. What? Yeah,
But
sure.
you see, they already trained.
Yeah.
What are they even called? Just Dark Jedi?
Yeah,
Yes.
they are called Dark Jedi.
Yeah, they already trained a bunch of Dark Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, you have them, so let them attack.
No, but I'm like, why would you? You have ships. They don't. Why would you ever even?
Because it's more fun.
It's more fun, of course. Yeah. And of course, the heroes need a chance to like survive and win, obviously.
Mhm.
So yeah, we do see training, which is crazy. That usually
unquote.
doesn't happen in Star Wars, especially in the book about like Jedi training. I mean, Pico, correct me if I'm wrong. You probably also were kind of confused. Like, why is there Jedi training in a book about Jedi training? That's not how it works usually.
That's cringe. Actually, like I was actually really fuming. Now.
Yeah, I was like waiting to see some more scavenging or like a bunch of kids stealing an egg from like a pterosaurus or whatever.
It's actually wasting my time. Like I'm trying to see stupid action about teenagers.
Exactly. Like we're both mindless drones who just need dopamine hits. We can't actually read, so why are you trying to make us read this shit? I don't understand. But yeah, God forbid we see training and okay, yeah, they do the thing from the Falcon in A New Hope, you know, the training droids that shoot blasters at you, like that they just hurt, they don't kill you, obviously. And yeah, and then they start sparring against each other with lightsabers, which is retarded. And you're just begging. You're begging for an accident. You really, really want an accident to happen.
Can I read
Jason.
a nice quote from Luke Skywalker?
Do that, please.
Okay, so Jaina and Loie are about to start sparring, and then Jaina asks, do I really have to fight Loie? And Luke Skywalker says, and I quote, "You're not fighting him, Jaina. You're fencing with him." Something interesting about fencing is it's actually a sport of fighting with swords.
Yeah.
Just a random thought I had.
Yeah, like I'm not doing sports. I'm just going for a run.
Yeah, it's different.
It's a different thing. That's really important.
I'm not fighting him. I'm boxing. I'm not punching. Sorry.
It sounds like an abuse victim. Like I'm not punching you. Like that's not what happens. Why would you say that? That's it's totally fine what's happening here.
He loves me though.
He totally does. He kind of maybe smiles when I cook him something after he punched me in the
Every
face.
time I bring him a beer, he says thank you.
He claps me on the ass and says, "Give me another one." I guess that's love. I mean, kind of is. Yeah, Jason Greyholm was here, but only like for a few minutes because he has the thing called sleep that he seems to need. Apparently, not relatable, but yeah, some people I guess want that. So yeah, that's it. It really, like, to me it sounded like they trained like sword fighting for like 2 weeks tops, and now they're like, okay,
Yeah, they were whacking with sticks for a week, and then they kind of like just dodged some lasers, and then Tenoka hit one of the laser thingies and says, because she's so awesome,
yeah,
she's like, I used both my hunting skills and the Force.
Sure.
And Luke's like, wow, you're so great at this, because she's so awesome and great at everything.
And by the way, Jason likes her. Just
so that's true.
You might have not noticed.
It's very subtle. Character trait, yeah.
As usual, I mean, it's a love interest that Kevin J. Anderson introduces. It's like, it's really subtle always. Like, it's never obvious what's about to happen, so that's cool. And it wouldn't be bad if it were obvious, if it was just good, But that's another discussion. But yeah, yeah, and I do like how Luke explains fighting. It's like, you drawing your lightsaber kind of means that you already have given up a lot of your superiority, and fighting is supposed to be like the last resort. And that's how you're, as a Jedi, supposed to view fighting. I do think that's a good way of explaining it, because like a Jedi, it's like a samurai. Like, you should basically only ever draw your saber if there's no other way, literally. So I think that's a good way to portray it. Chapter 5. Oh yeah. Jason once again. So we once again have this like very cheap continuity like thing where Jason, he's like fighting those droids as well, of course, and then he says like, oh, beating that droid is one thing, but like fighting in real life, that's another thing. That quote that Han Solo says in A New Hope, like, hey, I remember this quote. It's from that movie I watched. So yeah, there you go. Jason has that quote. Good on him. Yeah, I called it continuity for the lowest common denominator. That's like the laziest, cheapest way of.
I think this one specifically would work had Kevin not had a history of doing this all the time.
Yeah. I think, it's a thing where, like, okay, it's almost like a value that Jason has. Like, oh, you need to have real experience, and that is something Han would give him. Like, what would, try to teach him. But yeah, it's Kevin. He does it all the time, so it's kind of hard to unsee it at some point if you've seen it. Yeah. So Tanelka and Jason, they start sparring now, and yeah, at some point her lightsaber seems
wait. Before we get there, we got a joke to get through.
We got a joke. Oh god. Okay. Give it.
So they're in the middle of sparring, and Jason's like, "Hey, you want to hear a joke?"
Mhm.
So he goes, "You know why a Wampa snow monster has such long arms?
Why?
Because his hands are so far away from his body."
Yeah. In the next book, I've
God.
actually written down jokes because at some point I was like, I can't ignore these anymore. These are like actually stupid things. It's like this one, like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a factually correct statement. I mean, it's not really the reason why he has them. It's more like he has them, and that's a consequence of him having those. But yeah, I guess his hands are far away from. Yeah, sure. Like,
Kevin he was thinking really hard to come up with that one.
like, this feels like a "Hello, fellow kids" joke that he's telling here, because this is something like as you grow more adult, this is something I feel like you tell as a joke to just piss your friends off, like because it's obvious that it's a stupid joke. But he like actually thinks those are funny.
Doesn't he literally make the joke? What's the difference between a duck?
I
Difference between what?
haven't read it yet.
I think that's in one of the previous books.
Wait, what's the difference between a duck and what?
No, that's the joke. What's the difference between a duck?
Oh,
But- And then, like, what's the response?
Yeah. Both. The answer is both legs are the same length, especially the left one. It's a stupid.
I'll point it out when I find it, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
I think that was earlier in the book, but yeah.
That
Well,
sounds shit.
I've hit every joke so far, and I'm
Wait,
Really, I
which
could have
book?
sworn that was almost in the first or second book, but okay.
I don't feel like I've read this one, so maybe I mean I might have missed it. Maybe we'll see it in a later book. Because Jesus Christ, I don't know how he does it. It's also kind of a talent to make these jokes progressively worse. Like, not that they were like.
I mean, we know
good to
Kevin is a
begin with.
very progressive author.
Obviously, yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So
This is
there's
during
gonna-
sparring. Remember, just FYI.
It's sparring, yeah. So and like
Is that why
life and
she
death
loses her
sparring.
arm? The joke is so bad she lost all concentration. And it's,
Imagine she just like listens to it. She looks him in the eye, and her arm just falls off and disintegrates, like just disappears.
or
that
like
would be-
he's telling her the joke to distract her, and then he cuts her arm off.
Like on purpose. It's
He
like
makes a joke about Wampa arms.
oh yeah, like that one arm from from Darksaber that I remember.
There is an actual good joke here with Wampas and like Luke cutting the arm off of that one. And then what happens next?
You could actually, if you're like self-aware, because I
This
mean,
is
it's
how
in
you-
his own.
This is how you foreshadow Jason's fall. You know.
Exactly. That's the first taste he had of murder. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So they spar, with deadly weapons. By the way, they could kill each other at any moment. And the sequence was kind of confusing. I never quite realized like how loud everything was when it was happening. But yeah, so her lightsaber, it starts making very weird noises that it clearly shouldn't be doing. And Tenelka, I guess she kind of notices, but maybe she doesn't think anything about it. She's like, maybe that's supposed to be this way.
You think Luke would notice it too?
Yeah, like Luke is right there, isn't he? It's like,
Well, I mean,
can't-
Luke should have checked these blades already, so we're already. Luke is
Okay.
already assassinated. It's done.
of course, yeah. So, yeah, Luke, but before even any fighting happens, he should be like, hold them in his hand, do the trigger, like look everything up. He should look at these things whether they work. You can't just let them fight with it, because like that thing could just explode when they press a button. Like you can't know. So yeah, so we're already kind of like in character assassination territory already before anything even happens. And yeah, Luke is like watching them. So like, doesn't he hear what's happening? But he doesn't, and they're like just at a stalemate, and they're pushing against each other. And yeah, at this point, Luke should intervene, and he doesn't. And they continue until inevitably, her lightsaber like breaks. It's broken, whatever. Jason, of course, he has his momentum. That means he keeps pushing forward and cuts her arm off with his lightsaber. And because her lightsaber not only does it turn off, but it like explodes. So her whole arm gets disintegrated. So you can't even like reconnect it back to her body again. It's like gone.
Sad.
Yeah.
I like
Sure.
that Kevin made sure to include that her arm literally disintegrates.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it
Above her elbow, it's gone.
like it has to just completely burn and get destroyed, so you actually can't reattach it again. Hey, sure. Yeah, there you go.
So that there is more drama.
Yeah. By the way, that drama kind of leads nowhere. Other than bringing people to other places so the rest of the plot can happen. But like actually, there's nice character scenes, but like that's it. Chapter 6. Yeah, Brachus gets worshipped more. Like, I don't believe you, Kevin. I think he's actually ugly and you're just trying to fool me. Please shut up. Always. That's always, oh, he's so handsome. Oh. Yeah, we have Zach, of course. He's back. Zach, he's still kind of in his Crimea River phase, like, oh, they never made me take a Jedi test, blah blah blah. So he's like basically a full dark sider now. That's kind of the message I got. Like, okay, he's committed to this. That's it. He's gone. Yeah. He also gets a lightsaber, of course. That's it.
Brachus just gives him one, and that's it.
Brachus gives him one. Yeah. Take this and go on. Do whatever
In a
you
way,
want.
Brachus is almost a better teacher than Luke, because Brachus made sure that the lightsaber wasn't going to explode.
True. I mean, yeah, I guess so. There you go. Make of that what you will. Chapter 7. Yes, so Luke informs, Tenennial and Isolde about Tenelkar's accident. So actually kind of he informs them about his negligence. And I'm like, okay, if you are good parents, you're just gonna remove her from there and never go back there again. Which of course is not gonna happen, but I'm like, you should do that. Jason takes all the blame, for himself, which sure, I buy that Jason would do that. Luke doesn't take anyone. Like, it's not even mentioned that like Luke should have checked at any point. It's not even brought up, so I guess he's not guilty, at least.
Yeah, the book says he's not guilty, so that he's good.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm like, I was like, oh, that's marvelous setup for the Kaida storyline. Luke just obviously being in the wrong, but he takes no blame and makes Jason take all the blame instead. Like, accepts that he does. Yeah. But oh yeah. And they talk about, of course, Tenelkar has the option to get a bionic arm, like he has. But Luke kind of portrays his decision to get this arm as like a very tough one, because getting that arm like made him partially be like Vader, because Vader is a machine.
Yeah, more machine than man. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He's like part machine now, and
like we're talking about
the themes. Remember episode 5?
I remember that movie. I watched it.
Even though episode 6 shows that he's nothing like him, and like the whole point is that he's past that, and
yeah, maybe that gay shit was brought up somewhere. I don't know, man.
No.
Sounds really weird. It's
it
cooler.
We're only talking about episode 5.
I mean, as we know from Matt Wilkins, Kevin hates Return of the Jedi.
I honestly fully believe it. I
do. I believe a lot of things about Kevin J. Anderson now. Like, the more I read about all the characters, I'm like, man, you have weird things going on, probably, at least in my opinion. But yeah, it's like talking about the prothesis. Like, calm down. It's like I don't know. I had like I had a friend in school, like an acquaintance in school. He also only had one arm, and on occasion he had like it kind of looked like a mannequin arm or something, just so in specific circumstances that he had like two things coming out there. It's like he wasn't part mannequin now. I had the weird obsession with that. Like what is he now gonna stay in like in a shop window and that's his only job because now he's a mannequin? I guess I don't know, man. Calm down. It's a prothesis we're talking about here, not like a full body suit with literally everything replaced. But yeah, and yeah, indeed, her parents were led to believe that it's her parents. Take her with them, and they go back to Hapes.
By the way, keep all of this in mind for New Jedi Order with the robotic arms and stuff.
Oh no, okay, I shall. I mean, it's a New Jedi Order, so I assume it's gonna be good there.
Oh yeah, it's actually good. It's just part of the Yuuzhan Vong hating technology, and there's like one funny line.
Oh, okay.
Not spoiling too much. But it's one of the Vong talking to a Jedi, and he's
Mhm.
like, "But what about your Grandmaster Luke Skywalker? He's partially machine."
Okay.
And I
Okay,
think
yeah.
I think that Vong thought like that's the source of the Jedi power, that he was
Oh.
partially machine.
That's actually fine. Yeah, just make a robot army. Why not? Let them all be Jedi.
I mean, there are the Iron Knights. That's the thing.
Yeah, true. That's cool. Chapter 8. Yeah, so Tanelka, we're in her POV. She expects that if the twins saw her right now with only one arm, they might feel either pity, which is believable, or disgust for her. And why do friends, supposedly friends, have such horrible expectations of each other all the time? Like why would they be what? Their uncle only has one arm. What are you even talking about?
Their uncle only has one arm. They're really depressed right now because one of their best friends went to the dark side and joined the Shadow Academy. Why the fuck would they give a shit?
Yeah,
They just care that you're alive.
Yeah, oh no, we want her to be safe. That's actually what we want. No, I guess they want to be disgusted. At least according to Tanelka. I don't know what she's even trying to process here, but yeah, it makes no sense to me.
I think the theme is trying to push in here and try and create something of an arc.
Could
There
be.
is no arc.
Could also be.
It pretends it's an arc, but there isn't.
Yeah, you can say there is one, but if there isn't one, then there actually isn't one. It doesn't matter what you try to tell us. If it's not there, it's not there, and it's clearly not here. I find more and more of these. I'm like, if all of these things were gonna be brought up as the reason why Kaidos exists, I would be like, yeah,
I get it.
He's had shit friends, he's had shit parents, shit uncle. Everyone hates him for no reason.
Because he's Aquaman.
He's Aquaman, of course, yeah. So yeah, okay, I buy it. Yeah.
Oh, this is the chapter where Tajun was like, "Yeah, your parents got called away on a diplomatic mission." I'm like, first of all, bullshit.
Yeah.
Second of all, no way in hell is both of them going away when Tanelka is just lying on a fucking bed like this.
Yep.
Thanks for making Isolde a shitty parent as well.
Yeah. And
thanks, Kevin.
Tatsuma, I am to understand that Tenennial is now the Queen Mother, right? So
yes,
Tatsuma, in theory, she has no actual position of power.
Zero power.
Nothing. Zero, other than being the matriarch. Sure, okay, she's the living matriarch, but she actually holds no office anymore. So, who exactly are you, woman?
The fact that she's even allowed outside is kind of insane.
Yeah, she should be in a protective bubble or something 24/7 because.
Well, I mean, Tajun should be in prison, but
oh yeah, no.
Are you guys gonna enjoy at least one scene in the Darkness trilogy?
Oh,
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine from this conversation and you telling us now, but I might really enjoy it. Yeah, I know I'm gonna enjoy one scene from Invincible already, but yeah, Darkness. Hey, I have something to look
scene.
No, that's more up your.
The pedophilia scene.
Not that. A death scene, Noah. But not the one. A one before that.
I thought you meant maybe the Boba and Jaina being best friends scene at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Boba Fett fan.
Or Darla becoming chief of state.
Well, that I will enjoy.
That's
right. The Jedi need to end.
Because they watch it on CNN in the hospital. It's just on the news. Darla has been elected.
Oh man, don't they go on talk shows as well? Why?
Oh yeah, that's in Fate of the Jedi. Luke is thinking about he's sitting there in a talk show set, and he's thinking, "Oh my god, I just had to get makeup done to get in front of the cameras. What a bizarre feeling."
Imagine
and then he just says, "Hey guys, yeah, so the Jedi Order is leaving Coruscant. Good luck." And then the Lost Tribe of the Sith takes over the planet. But it's all as planned.
Yeah, of course. Like imagine it was just like the interview from the Joker, like Luke is going on his Joker arc, and there's just like some Murray there just talking to him, like, get what you fucking deserve, man. That would have been funny at least, but no, don't even get that either. Yeah. Okay.
When you treat the Jedi like dirt, you get what you fucking deserve. I mean, that fits with the general story.
Yeah. I mean, why not make it congruent to the themes? Why not?
Themes.
Themes are so much. They're so important.
But you realize the theme of this story with Tunnel Car and like girl power.
Girl power, and
because
then she's got to
Yeah.
realize that she has weaknesses.
But she refuses. You know how strong she is. Like she refuses to get a prosthetic arm.
Yeah, because she's better than Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought there was a reason that she didn't get one.
No.
But no, she just doesn't want one.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, your prerogative.
I mean, it's better explained with Count Dooku in the Revenge of the Sith novel.
Yeah.
I think it was in that one, because he's thinking like he thinks Anakin Skywalker is an abomination for getting a mechanical arm, and like a real swordsman would have learned to fight with just the one hand he has left.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of character he was, that you could say like, okay, that makes sense that you would believe that, but she's like a girl. He's like, isn't he like in his 90s or something in Revenge, or like in his
he's
80s?
a 90s nobleman, so
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
So sure, yeah. But yeah, and yeah, as we said, in the explosion of the lightsaber, her actual her detached arm was left completely useless, so you can't reattach it. She blames herself for everything happening. Like,
correct.
I mean, like in a practical way, yeah, you have like constructed a horrible lightsaber, but there's still like nobody's still blaming Luke. Like, there's not a mention of like, hey, where were you? Like, why did this happen? But yeah,
the teacher is not responsible, okay?
Never, of course not. I'm like, okay, she has like a defeatist attitude about the whole situation, which is understandable, yeah, but like a prothesis is a thing that it's okay.
I also want to make it clear here that at no point is she saying she wants to leave the academy. She just kind of like needs some time to chill off for a bit.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
this is going to come relevant for the one of the later chapters.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now that she arrived on Hapes, she like gets, of course, greeted by Tarchum and a bunch of servants. Part of like a few of these servants were like male dance performers who only wore loincloths.
Scantily clad was the
yeah,
what it was defined as.
Okay, and in the German book it said Lendenshirts, so which to me is like loincloth, like a caveman.
Scantily clad in loincloths is what it said.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Imagine classic Tarzan.
Yeah, kind of. It's like one of the most developed like nations in the galaxy.
What is this?
I mean, they are heavily sexist. We know that. They're just like that for me. They are female-ruled societies because this, as we said earlier, Kevin J. Anderson, very progressive author. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. There's not.
I do like how the expanded universe actually kept this consistent. Hapes as a women-ruled society is absolute shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are all awful.
Everyone, even the women of Hapes recognize, like, yeah, this is like Hamilcar. Like when Luke says your place is fucking shit, man. It's like murderers and scum of the earth, and she's like, yeah, true. But yeah,
even Dathomir got like better. In like Fate of the Jedi, you actually treat men as equals.
Yeah, Dathomir has at least the excuse of being in a shithole. Basically, there are like a few people,
and they're like
dancing around a
Amazonians,
campfire,
but they become more civilized than the Hapes people.
I mean, everyone's more civilized than the Hapes people, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, oh yeah, Tarchuma, she speaks to her. Of course, Tarchuma wants her to stay on Hapes to make her into the next Queen Mother. And she's like, hey, maybe this was the Force's sign that you're not cut out for Jedi training. And Tenelka wonders if she's right. I'm like, Luke Skywalker is your master. He's like the greatest Jedi, one of the greatest Jedi of
Allegedly.
all time. And all of his most impressive feats are like ruling out the destruction of the first Death Star, which, okay, fair enough. Like, he all did them with one hand. Like a prosthesis. Calm down, Jesus Christ. It's not that hard. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, if you lose an arm here and you don't have a robotic, like in our world, I mean, you don't have a robotic arm that you can just attach. Okay, yeah, that's a bit more damning, but like, isn't this the point of writing science fiction, that a bunch of these problems are like not a thing anymore and you have other problems instead?
It doesn't even
It's
look like a
fantasy. It's
robot
different.
It's of course it's fantasy because something, and that's what makes it okay. Yeah.
And it doesn't even look like a robot arm. You can get synth flesh or whatever it's called.
It looks like exactly the same. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know unless you were told, probably. Yeah. I'm like, it's like, yeah. It's what you mentioned, Pico. That I wrote this down as well. This is a non-arc treated as one. It's like there's nothing there, but it's clear the book wants you to believe there is something there, and yeah, it makes it kind of aggravating to read because, well, you're reading about nothing, so why bother? Chapter 9. Yeah, so Jaina, Jaina's training also continues. She trains under Tion, and she has an inner conflict, which in isolation makes sense because now that she's getting more into her training, she thinks about, oh, will I have to eventually like fight Zek to protect people like my mother, let's say, who of course is like obviously their sworn enemy. And yeah, it's like it's really stressed. I think she had like a full blown panic attack.
Yeah, I wrote it all down. I don't really
Yeah.
want to read it, but it is in my notes if we really want.
Oh, sure. I mean, why not? Yes, if you want to share it, yeah.
Well, I could read that, or we got a shitty Jason joke coming in this chapter too. Actually,
You know,
yeah.
of course, we could like have an attempt at good character things, but let's rather read the Jason joke.
Okay, so why is a droid mechanic never lonely?
Because he builds all his friends or something.
That's almost it. Yes, because
He
it's
makes friends.
it's always making new friends.
Yeah. Maybe
Kevin
Maybe
was
they-
really proud of this, making this Jason's entire character.
maybe they could just like lean into Jason becoming like the zombie Doctor Strange from Mom,
Yes.
like the incel Doctor Strange. Just make him an incel. Like he tries these
Mom.
stupid jokes. He doesn't get his woman, and that's how he falls to the dark side.
Can I just say MOM is a great acronym for Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, because I say it that way because
Doctor
Small
Strange
always
from
from that
Mom.
way. Dr.
it's
Strange
actually
Mom.
very themed if you watch the movie because the villain is a character who
Oh,
can't be a mom.
true. It's all about her wanting to be a mother, kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a really
Oh
shit
my god,
movie. Don't watch it.
talking about MOM, I just had the perfect realization who Ta Chum really is. Hold
Oh.
on.
Oh no, what?
Holding on.
We're holding on. Just before you question, like this moment of silence here is more interesting than most things in
Yes.
these books. So, oh yeah, they were kids, yeah, because they had a mom and like
That's true.
something, yeah.
There it is.
A it yeah.
Literally Ta Chum.
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to. I think there are pictures of the actual Ta Chum, right? Like on Wikipedia or something.
Yeah, they are. There's like one picture, it's in black and white, and she looks way younger than she actually is.
Yeah, I guess they wanted that whole like MILF thing going on there. I don't know. I mean, that's what she's supposed to be canonically, so sure. Yep. Tachuma. There you go. We have the Queen Mother as a special guest here. Yeah, and then because everyone's like, hey, this kind of fucked up what happened, and then Tion, she does something that's new for her. She tells a story about Nomi Sunrider. Like, I like Nomi Sunrider. I get it. But like, isn't she kind of a one-trick pony? It's like she only can speak about something when it refers to Tales
You
of
can
the
only
Jedi.
speak about Tales of the Jedi content. Because that's also Kevin, and that was all that was out. Imagine she's singing ballads about Revan. Or like
About
Bastila.
Vitiate when
Vitiate.
Oh man. Jesus. Yeah, she tells a story about Nomi, in the beginning of Nomi's arc, she uses her lightsaber against a bunch of murderers who killed her husband. She was never one who really like wanted to use a lightsaber because she doesn't like it, but that's kind of how she recognized, okay, on occasion, like I'll have to be able to at least fight. Later on, of course, she defended Vima and her master with the lightsaber. So it's like you don't have to be eager. You probably shouldn't be eager to use a lightsaber offensively in a way, but you should be able to. It's like, yeah, okay, that's good. And then she's like, okay, it's enough. Like this was kind of a stressful thing happening here with Talca, so let's just end the lesson at this point, and they do. So yeah, fair enough.
Isn't it a bit weird that this is the first time Tiona is telling them about Nomi Sunrider? They've been here for months, and she talked about other parts of.
Yeah. Oh, I just found the picture. Damn. Yeah.
She's talked about other parts of Tales of the Jedi before, and this is like her favorite person from there.
It's it obviously is. I guess she hasn't. I mean, yeah, whatever. Anyway. The more we get about this, I'm like, what are you actually like learning in this place? Like, because even though you're like going to Jedi Academy, I feel like you should probably still learn about like, I don't know, basic maths or like, language. Like
You
basic.
should probably learn to speak Shriwook.
Shriwook, yeah. I mean, that's important. What are you gonna do without that? Yeah. This whole school is a bit. It's
This discount space Hogwarts.
It's like unspecified enough where like, okay, I guess I'm just not supposed to question it.
I think it's pretty clear at Hogwarts they learn like proper wizard stuff.
Yeah,
but like, what do they learn here?
Yeah, like we have the classes, and even though you don't get like a full class of everything, it's obvious from the name, kind of, and from the
like literally the only class stuff I remember is the food fight in the cafeteria.
Yeah,
and then Luke giving like a lecture in like the auditorium, and he's just talking about. So I once had this student called Brekis that's totally not going to be relevant in a few days, and that's it.
That's what happened.
And Nomi mentioning Tales of the Jedi every once in a while, and
now available
you mean
in the comic store,
right?
Yeah.
Would have been funny if Nomi was around, but oh well, no, she's not.
Where's Vima Dabode?
Yeah, like nobody mentioned her ever again. Like, did something happen to her? Is she gone? Maybe Luke hid her somewhere or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually kind of it flip-flops in the continuity, because some sources say, oh, she was there for a time and helped train the students, but then she also disappeared every now and then.
Yeah, she was on Nar Shaddaa. She was in Kessel in the mines.
She was in Crimson Empire 3 for a cameo.
She was.
You think Kevin of all people would, write this in, but being the great uniter of the comics and the books, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like the only reason basically that the expanded universe exists, right?
Yes.
I wonder if Vima ever told Luke that she met fucking Obi-Wan on Nar Shaddaa.
No,
We have
probably.
to read
Kip
that
Durran.
story. And Kip Durran in Kessel, for some reason, she was arrested and then escaped.
Yeah, sure. Chapter 10. Tanelka. Tanelka is supposed to be given a biomechanical prosthesis by Hapian doctors, which is like, yeah, that's like the logical next step that he would take. But then Tanelka has a thing. She like realizes, oh, as soon as I returned here, like my grandma started doing everything for me. Like she's taking control over my life in that way, and when she thinks about like, oh, that arm wouldn't become a part of her, like it's just artificially attached to it, but it's not really part of her in the Force, and to her that's like an admission of loss to have something with her that's not with her in the Force. That's why she refuses to get one.
And
What?
now just insert the Doc Ock tentacle scene from Spider-Man 2.
If you just listen to this and you have no fucking clue what I'm talking about, I don't either. That's like, yeah, so it's an object. It's not with her, like a part of her body, which is like in the Force or something, that way. Sure, yeah.
So basically, she has like the Yuuzhan Vong thing.
I guess, yeah. It's like she wants to stay a pure human being in the Force and not like an ugly mudblood or something.
Aryan purity.
Yeah. I mean, she's a ginger. That's fair enough. That works well.
She's already lacking in the soul front, right? You don't want to go all the way.
Exactly, yeah. And she won't get an arm. Okay. The doctor is the first one who like correctly points out, hey, there's actually no shame in getting one of those. And Luke Skywalker, especially because Luke Skywalker himself has one. And Tanaka, like, she kind of has to agree, but she's like, okay, he made his decision, and I'm gonna make mine, and mine is to not get one. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was kind of sensible enough for me, but she seems to. I mean, that's the impression I got from her. She seems to really adore Luke, like as a teacher. I think she thinks highly of him the way they interacted. It's tough for her.
Here's a quick question.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out why Tanelka doesn't want the prosthetic arm. Why does Tahiri not wear shoes? It's not a trick question. Just why does she not wear shoes?
It's
Oh, that was explained in Junior Jedi Knights because what was it again? Because she was forced to be like all wrapped up in Tusken clothes on Tatooine, and now she's just always barefoot because she just enjoys not having to do that anymore.
Yeah,
and like actually feel the world essentially.
Yeah,
exactly. Why does Tanelka not want an arm?
Pride, I guess. I don't know. That's really the only. It's really the only. Like it's what it ultimately comes down to, kind of, because I mean, if it's about like replacing your
It's
entire
the same
body,
with Zack.
yeah,
Just pride.
Yeah, it's
hey, you
kind
could do this thing that would solve your problems, make life better, easier, whatever.
The thing
no,
is,
I just don't want to.
With that thing, like with this question of, oh, how human am I afterwards? Like you can do good things. I remember in Nier Automata, the video game, that there was like it was just a little side quest where one NPC told you like he is basically completely robot now. All of his parts, or like all of his body parts were replaced with robotic parts, and I think he just has like one biological leg left or something, and it's like badly hurt, and it's supposed to be swapped out again. And then he's like, but I kind of refuse to get that, because like if literally every part of me has been replaced by like a machine part, how human am I actually? And it's like, okay, yeah, it makes sense for somebody to have these questions when it's about like their entire body, not about one half of an arm.
You would enjoy the Marvel run.
Shouldn't she know about Brand? M whatever they're however the fuck you pronounce it.
Yeah, that guy.
Empathogeius Brand.
Yeah,
they should. Like,
Or as I was
What?
just gonna say from the Marvel run, fucking Valance.
Valence, yeah.
I don't
That's
know
his
the
big
Marvel
thing
one.
in the final issue,
Mhm.
108.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Even before then, it's like
Yeah, even before that, but 108 is about him wanting to become really fully human again and stuff.
yeah, like you can do good stuff. I mean, you probably shouldn't do that arc for a teenager. That would be kind of fucked. But yeah, like that works perfectly fine. But it doesn't fit here because it's not the same magnitude. Like, but whatever.
also not explaining why she doesn't want one. She
Yeah,
just doesn't want one.
because yeah, she doesn't want one because. But yeah, that's it. Chapter 11. So yeah, Luke tries contacting Tanel Ka, but as we know, Isolde and Tenendiel aren't there. They aren't on Hapes, which I don't buy. Like, no, sorry. Yeah. Only Tarchum is there, and she says like, quote, Tanel Ka already experienced enough pain because of like him, which I mean, yeah, that's kind of true. So yeah, there's like no reason why we should view it differently, but yeah, thing is, Luke wants to speak to Tanel Ka. Tarchuma won't let him speak with her because, yeah, she doesn't want her to return to the Praxium. Okay, yeah. And Luke is like convinced after that call that, yeah, on Hapes, Tanel Ka is probably not getting the emotional support that she's supposed to be getting right now, especially not from her grandma, obviously, who never wanted her to become a Jedi. So he flies there with his quantum armored ship, the Shadow Chaser. We know that one. He goes there to Hapes, and he takes the group with him. So the kids are gonna come along. Chapter 12.
Wait.
You
We're getting
know what I
this
should have included in my
Oh.
fucking Jedi Prince fan fiction? A ship called the Quantum of Solace or something.
the quantum.
That would have been funny. A quantum of Solace.
Oh my god, what is it? I hope you guys make note of all dimensions of quantum in Kevin books.
I think this is it. After this arc, it's basically gone.
Shadow Chaser
Really?
is gone, but why would it be gone? It's like a quantum ship.
I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh wait, no, because they get the rock dragon. That's why.
The Rock Dragon.
Yeah, Tanel Ka gets a ship. I guess spoiler.
Yeah, I don't care, but like the
Um,
Rock. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I vaguely remember that.
I was gonna say that Luke is now ready to tell the kids about Tanel Ka.
Oh yeah.
Something that it's not really his to tell, but that's fine.
Exactly, like you can still just fly there, be like, hey, if you arrived at the place, I'm sure Tanel Ka will tell you everything. It's like that was kind of the point of him not telling anything up until this point. It's not my place, but yeah, I guess now it is. Yeah, chapter 12. Norris. I can't take
Remember
him
Norris?
seriously. Yeah, once I realized he sounds just like Chuck Norris, I mean, it's not like I took him seriously before that, but that like even lowered it more. Yeah, Norris. He's the former leader of the Lost Ones. Remember that faction? I don't. He is a stormtrooper now, and he likes being a stormtrooper because it enables his deepest character trait, wanting to destroy as much as possible, so people take him seriously. Yeah. Compelling characterization there. I want to
Very
know more
deep.
about this guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a redemption arc lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has shooting practice. That's like his thing. So Cole sends him to like shooting practice against Minox. Minox, I do remember these from that movie I watched. Yeah, we have more about Zach. I don't really care. He celebrates that he's going to be able to attack the New Republic at some point under the supposed command of Palpatine. Yeah, and I was like, oh, the fact that this guy survives the entire timeline is so painful. It's so sad, man. But yeah, he does. So there you go. Chapter 13. we had something pretty surprising here, which were like fantastic character moments, actually.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
out of
that's
place. This
Yeah, it's really
I'm
good.
convinced this is the moment Rebecca Moesta started
Yes,
writing.
like I don't actually buy that Rebecca Moesta wrote anything basically in these books other than the very, very, very few like occasional good moments. Like the Lost Ones, I think the Lost Ones is like 100% Kevin J. Anderson.
She probably only took over when Kevin was too busy already writing his fucking Dune books.
Fair enough. Thank God. So we get to at least enjoy a few good moments, so that's cool. Yeah, chapter 13. Yeah, so somehow Luke convinces Tatsuma to let the kids stay on Hapes for a month. I'm like, that's probably a horrible idea because it's Hapes.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And like, which reason does Tatsuma have to let them be there? Not really one, but I'm like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, they stay here now. Yeah, Jason and Tanaka, they reunite and they kind of have like a mock fight between like who is more to blame. So Jason blames himself, Tanaka blames herself. They kind of have a fight about that. Both, of course, are incorrect. It's Luke's fault, but that's beside the point. Yeah, and then Jason at some point we recognize like, oh, I have no arguments, so he just offers to tell her a joke, and
Of course.
yeah, and that gets Tanaka to actually like burst out laughing. Not the actual joke, but just his offer, like, hey, we just fought. Could I tell you a joke?
Hey, Tanaka, you know that story about Luke and the Wampa on off?
I mean, that Wampa became the leader of the pack for some reason. So, maybe that could be inspirational for her.
Oh, yeah, because it became stronger after losing the arm, probably.
Yes, because that's how predators in the wild work. Very famously. But yeah, so yeah, and then they hug. She calls him her friend, and she even cries into his shoulder. I'm like, that's probably the best scene in the entire like series so far. Was like actually very nice, believable character interaction. Of course, the reason why they're here in the first place makes no sense, but that interaction itself was really great. I have to say, it was fantastic.
Jason likes Tanaka, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
Jason might have like a minor thing for Tanaka, like he might have a crush or something. We're not sure yet, but it's pretty obvious it should be. Yeah, and then afterwards, so the kids, they want to eat like in a private place, which is only meant for Tanaka. Tatsuma, as I said, she wants everyone to like eat in the dining room, in the specific dining room, and then at some point in the dining room, there's a bomb that detonates, and it's obviously supposed to like target Tatsuma and Tanaka. And like, yeah, this culture is like really garbage, but we know that. And yeah, that's it. There has been the first assassination attempt here. Chapter 14. Yeah, once again we had some really good scenes. So the kids, they get brought to a remote island called Reef Fortress. That was the island name in English, and
AKA Space Alcatraz.
It does look like Space Alcatraz, yeah. And yeah, in German it's Riffheim. And yeah, it serves the royal family of Hapes as a fortress. And Tanaka tells like she actually has a lot of very good childhood memories here. And they just kind of sorry.
In prison.
In prison. Like when Alcatraz is your best childhood memory, you should really think about your childhood, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's not think too much about it. And yeah, so they they just spend time together, and at some point they go into like to a secluded like a bay at the beach, to take a swim.
Oh, they're doing the Luke Skywalker naked bathing meditation session.
They're doing the they still have that. Oh my god, can you actually imagine like him making them do this like as teenagers?
I don't want to imagine, but he probably did.
Come on, everyone, we're gonna take a bath now. Yeah.
Let's go in the cave under
Let's go in the cave.
the jungle,
Ooh, yay. Does that cave ever get brought up again?
I don't think so.
Of course not. Why would it? Yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, Jason keeps challenging Tanelka to like all sorts of competitions, which to her proves like she's still, able to do a lot of the things that she might have thought she couldn't do. In the end, they even like have a race to the beach, and Tanelka wins the race, because Lex, we know that because Kevin.
Because she's amazing and good at everything.
Who would have thought that her legs still work after losing an arm?
Kind of unbelievable, right? Because I always thought like if I get my arm cut off, my legs just
I can't swim anymore.
Yeah, it's like that's gone. But no, they all celebrate that she won, and she actually even starts to cry because she explicitly said like, "Don't let me win." Like if you're gonna let me win, then don't challenge me in the first place. But he didn't, so she actually
Didn't
seemed
like the Corellian trilogy establish that Jason is a little chubby?
I think so.
Yeah, so it makes sense that she would win.
Is he still fat at this point?
I mean, I think these books claim he's shorter than Jaina, and Jaina is 1 meter 49.
Yeah, I think over the course of the books, he grows taller.
Yeah,
her.
but
I hope so.
holy shit.
One.
That's what I find funny, because obviously the American author didn't know what meters are.
Yeah,
So
like,
it's funny in retrospect thinking Jason at one point was smaller than Jaina.
yeah, like how? I mean, not Leia, but like Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher's really short, or like
She's
was really
150.
150. Yeah, so
Yeah, and Jaina is 1 centimeter smaller.
yeah, and Han is like, what is he, like 180, 83 or something? I don't know. Like,
Oh, he's
Harrison
really
Ford's
tall.
pretty tall, right?
190
So,
even. But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess genetics, that's just what happens sometimes. Yeah. No, but she actually like she genuinely won, and she has to cry because it means so much to her. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a nice scene. I like that. Chapter 15. Yeah, so Tatsume, she wants Tanelka to like solve a local political conflict. It was like something about like there was a mining space for one species, and it was very obvious that was like there was a place where they wanted to like open a mining place, and then their like natural enemies, they moved their like embassy or something pretty close to the place, and now the place gets polluted and it's noisy. And she's like, hey, you knew that they were gonna start mining there, so fuck off, basically. And that was kind of cool. So she has no interest in actually participating in Hapen politics, which, I mean, fair enough for her. But Jason does recommend her like, hey, you might need those like negotiation and like argument skills as a Jedi as well, so you might as well make the experience. You don't have to like listen to the way your grandmother wants you to do them. Just make your own experience. And it was like, yeah, makes sense, sure. And she does insist on all her friends being there. Also MTD as a translator. Yeah, as it turns out, he can just hook up to a computer and like download an update file for a language, which makes me wonder why even have like a language limit to 6 in the first place. Jesus. The thing is, this has to be completely computer generated, because in the series, Hayden Christensen is not de-aged, and he looks like it, obviously, because he's supposed to be like young, but he's a like 40, 50-year-old man at this point. And he still looks old in this, but it's a comic. Even though in the comic you can just draw him as a young guy.
It's traced. It's just the actual like episode, but like put a filter over it.
Yeah, it looks like a cartoon filter from, I don't know, Instagram or something.
I'm pretty sure that is what it is.
Yeah, and that's it. Like screenshots from the show ran through a filter. That's it. Fantastic. That's what effort looks like, guys. Yeah. So of course, Tatsume is not happy about that, but yeah, she's like, yeah, we will do it like this. Jason encourages her, like, hey, do things your way. Don't just listen to your grandma. So that's part of it. And yeah, she solves the dispute. I mean, she was pretty harsh about it, but she was fair. And her grandma actually is like pretty happy about the way that she did it. So though she's like, yeah, you need a bit of like fine tuning, but you got the idea. So I was like, yeah, that was kind of believable and cool. Why not? Chapter 16. Yeah, so Ambassador Ifra. You might remember her from that one scene in that one book. I don't remember which one. I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, she gives the kids a quote. It like wave. Like the free translation was a wave rider. So like a big motorboard, basically. Like where all of them can sit and like drive around. And like that's totally not going to be a setup for a potential murder, is it?
No,
And
that doesn't happen on Hapes, whatever.
Hapes, never wouldn't happen. And yeah, in a shocking turn of events, we have an assassination attempt going.
What?
Yeah, because that ship thingy is like sent into very dangerous waters with some hungry monster by an autopilot. And for some reason, Ambassador Ifra told them that she programmed the autopilot, so it's like not even a mystery who did it. Yeah, so Ifra, yeah, she programmed the autopilot too.
This is a YA book, not a whodunit.
Fair
You
enough.
know?
It can, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, this should probably cause a political crisis because she's like the ambassador from an ally, quote unquote, of the New Republic, and she essentially tried to kill like the prince and the princess of the New Republic. But nothing happens because why the hell would it? Consequences, what are they? Never heard of them. Yeah, that's it. Chapter 17. Oh yeah, so they fight this monster thingy, and Jason tells Tanuka, hey, you did really well in the fight against this monster. Not like you did well for an one-armed girl, but like you actually just did well. She appreciates the comment greatly. Oh yeah,
You did good for a fucking cripple.
For a girl who's basically useless, you kind of did okay. Oh yeah, I guess it's a thing that Jason, also has that like. Oh god, how's the word pronounced? Lopsided or lopsided, right? The grin.
Lobotomy.
He has the same grin as Han Solo. That's what and it's kind of infamous at this point as well that he has the same grin as his father. I was like, hey, guess that's cool. Yeah, at this point I was like, just give up on telling a story. Just write character moments. They don't need to make sense. Just write them. They're
At least
good.
there's something.
Yeah, of course. At least they give you something to think about and not to cry about. So that's cool. Yeah, Todd Schumer, she comes back. They even briefly consider whether Todd Schumer tried to kill them, which I don't quite understand. But yeah, she'll send Ifra back to investigate the bombings in the palace. They think that she might instead sabotage the investigations, but the kids don't mention it because they just want to be safe, and anything, in case anything else is going on, they don't want to like alarm anyone who might be involved in this, I guess, because they don't trust anyone. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Fair enough. Chapter 18. Yeah, Zach. Okay, so Zach gets trained, right? And he
Off screen, by the way.
off screen, of course. Why would you have that on screen? That's so boring, right? I need dopamine, please. And the way that he trains is hilarious. He essentially just trains against a bunch of monsters from the original trilogy. Like, he fights Minox, he fights Wampas, he fights Tusken Raiders. What else?
Okay, I wrote it all down.
Okay,
So
do it.
off screen, he has slain Minox, abyssins, crate dragons, wampa ice monsters, piranha beetles, and hordes of angry Tusken raiders. Which, by the way, implies that he's been to Tatooine, Hoth, and Biss, and they somehow got piranha beetles off of Yavin 4.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because piranha beetles are only on Yavin 4.
Yeah, wait, that makes no sense. What the fuck? I didn't even think about that. How the fuck did they get? Jesus Christ! It's even more stupid than I already thought. Yeah. What can I say, man? Like there's like
What
that's
would fighting piranha beetles even do?
I don't know. Like it's a beetle. Like it's gonna eat you or not. Like there's nothing to really defend yourself against.
Can you just full screen Noah for a sec? It's just
That's the honest reaction to all of this. Yeah. Man, that's like Kevin trying to meme about himself. Like, remember all these things from the movie. Safety, security, and reliability. Oh yeah, that's his. That's his thing. His oh god.
Yeah. His job.
His
Safety,
job.
security, and reliability of the nation's nuclear weapons.
Imagine this guy advised like JFK during the Cuba crisis, the Cuban Missile Crisis.
So another thing is that abyssins and Tusken raiders are both sentient, so he's just a murderer at this point.
Yeah, but Zach doesn't care because you might have missed this, but back on Coruscant, nobody tested him to be if he was a Jedi.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so kind of crazy story, right? And of course he's gonna be
super angry that people didn't ask for help when he said he didn't want help.
Yeah, but don't you remember that that Tusken? I mean, the Tusken killed Shmi, so like
That hasn't
can just
happened
murder
yet.
them.
Outside of universe, that hasn't happened yet.
But it's the Tusken. I mean,
Oh, true.
they're evil, aren't they?
And not just the men, but the women and
But
the
the-
children too.
The things he probably killed the women and the children too. So Zach was like,
Zach is Anakin.
Zach is Anakin, but
He was the proto Anakin.
yeah, but without the like understandable kind of like character motivations. He's just
Dude, he ate a bouquet.
he ate a bouquet. That's true.
He ate a bouquet and then went to
He had
Tatooine and
more
slaughtered
motivation than
Tusken Raiders.
Anakin in the prequels.
Yeah, like
Imagine that dinner scene in the prequels, but it's Anakin. Like that deleted scene, like with Padme's family on Naboo.
When he's
Like-
floating that stupid bear, he's actually floating a bouquet.
he's like cutting up the bouquet and like just sending thorns and petals into like her face. Like, hey, eat them. She doesn't like what.
This
the fuck's
salad
wrong?
is pretty good.
This is one tasty thorn I have in my
Now let
mouth,
me
yeah?
tell you about fascism.
Yeah, I want to make these people do what I want. By the way, I also eat bouquets because I'm too stupid to realize that that's not food. Yeah.
You know, this reminds me of that scene from Is Wieder Da. When Hitler interviews that one guy who's like, yeah, we need some more democracy. We need the one guy who just comes in and is like, this is how we do it. No discussion. You know,
yeah,
period.
true.
That's it.
That's what they would need, yeah. Yeah, I was like, I kind of expect him from this stupid training to actually become like as strong, at least, or stronger than like the solo kids and who not. I'm gonna see how an actual one-on-one fight is gonna look like because, damn, I have a weird feeling about this, but I don't know.
So
Oh, yeah.
close. You were so close to a Kevin moment with the reference. You got a bad feeling about this.
I true. I guess something inside me wanted to resist against a Kevin moment.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, right? It's not normal to not want a Kevin moment like happening, but I guess that's just me. Maybe I've gone insane. Kevin J. Anderson. Oh yeah, next thing he does. It's kind of strange. because I've never actually seen this happen in one of his books, but he describes Brachus as handsome, which I don't understand, considering like he's like canonically ugly. So I didn't get that. And of course, I mean, have you read about Kevin? He just has it right there. Have you ever read about Kevin calling Brachus handsome? I don't think I have. It makes no sense.
I mean, I can understand. Look at this face.
I mean, he looks like the. He perfectly looks like a group leader from the Hitler Youth or something. So that's cool. Yeah.
He's also about to do another like really crazy thing where he explains what's happening in the fight, and like you can actually picture what's happening. Because spoiler alert, there's about to be a fight.
There's a fight. Yeah, there's a
It's really
1v1.
stupid why it's going on, but you know.
There is a 1v1 knife only fight between Zack and Vilas to determine something. Oh yeah, I guess leadership. They're like, oh yeah, we need one leader. We can't have like two who are always gonna, battle each other against power. First of all, battling each other for power is like the point of the empire. Second of all, you are the adults, aren't you the leaders anyway? Like, separate them into two groups. Like, if you don't
It's just
want
a waste of resources, really. If you just have them kill each other.
It's
like
like
Coral says, and then they ignore him.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, the Sith from SOTA make more sense. Like they actually they just want each other's stuff. Like they're assholes. Like they're like, yeah, you have a bunch of things. I want them. Fuck you. But these guys are like, yeah, these kids, boys will be boys. Am I right?
Those crazy kids.
Kids these days, yeah, they always do. 1 minute you don't have a look at them, and then they just start murdering each other. Yeah, Vilas, he mocks Zack as a trash collector, which he was by choice. So, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, we have like a brief commentary from, I think it was like a few Night Sisters, whether it actually makes sense for a faction to constantly kill each other. Of course, it's not smart that we do that, but it's Darksiders, so we gotta believe that, yeah, that's just their thing. And yeah, Zack kills Vilas. I don't care.
But it's edgy.
It is edgy.
He stabs him with like a pipe that's superheated, and then he holds out his blade, and then Vilas jumps into it, and he slices it in half, lengthwise. It's metal as fuck, bro.
Wait, you mean like vertically?
As far as I'm aware, that's what happened, yeah. Because he just holds it out, and then he jumps into it.
Jesus. Yeah. That's it.
Wait, then Brachus calls him his Darkest Night. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I didn't even write that down. Yeah. He gets called.
What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
It's exactly that. Yeah, he literally gets christened as the Darkest Night, which is gonna be the title of the next book, and I hoped it would just be like a metaphorical thing, but no, it's legit a title. It's like a thing that exists, I guess. Jesus. Yeah. I'm like, okay, he'll attack the Praxium. That's like his thing that he's gonna do. Not in the next book, of course, but
if he's the Darkest Knight, are the other Dark Jedi the Dark Knights?
I guess so, yeah. They are the Dark Knights now.
The Shadow Academy. The Shadow Knights.
The Shadow Knights. That's man.
Dark evil.
The grand dark evil.
Shadow Troopers? Oh no, that's already taken.
Shadow Troopers. That's less retarded. That's cooler, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, he'll attack the Praxium. What a surprise. I don't give two shits. Burn it all down. How about that? Chapter 19. I literally have one word for chapter 19, which is bugs.
Bugs.
Yep.
I don't even remember what actually happened in chapter 19, but it was bugs.
Bug assassins.
Oh, yeah, the bug assassins. Yeah, so
Clever foreshadowing of Dark Nest.
true. That's when Denning got the idea from Darkness, probably. So yeah, as we know, they are still in Reef Fortress, the kids on Hapes, and they get attacked by bug assassins, and they have like an easy game there. So yeah, chapter 20. The kids, they go away in that boat thingy they have. It takes hours. Like I guess it's very lucky that nobody there has like a marine or air support. Yeah, it would be kind of awkward, admittedly, to have a defense
Yes.
against attackers. That's kind of cringe. Yeah, and while while they're driving and they return, Ifra already pronounced their death from like a supposed emergency call that never happened from the island.
Ifra assumed their pronouns. What?
She pronounced them to be dead. So she said like, hey,
How dare she?
true. And it was like just hours afterwards, she like already assumed control over, as far as I understand, the entire cluster.
I think so. Yeah, she just assumed it.
Yeah. And of course, it's as soon as Tarchuma returns, it's reversed. I'm like, how does that even work? Tenennial is the Queen Mother. Why did I have to sit through fucking courtship of Princess Leia if Tenennial isn't even the actual Queen Mother anyway? Doesn't she have control? What the hell does it mean to usurp Tarchuma? Tarchuma is nothing.
She's the matriarch. I don't know what that means, but she's the matriarch.
Yeah. Like, is she now legally the mother of Isolde? Maybe. Maybe she, I don't know, maybe Isolde can file for, like child support or something. Like, hey, you owe me money now or something. Who knows?
Is the idea that Tarchum is in charge when Tenennial and Isolde are gone?
I guess.
But like if I'm the ruler of a country and I'm gone for a bit and somebody replaces me for the time and then they get usurped, like that means nothing. I'm still the ruler. Like it actually means shit. Like there is why don't you call the queen? Isn't she somewhere? No, I guess not. Okay.
Well, we're about to find out.
She's on a diplomatic mission.
We're about to find out that they were also attacked, and they fended it off.
Of course.
I'm glad we didn't see that.
Yeah, it happened off screen. Don't worry. They got out. They got out of it.
Of course, yeah. Thank God, because otherwise the rest of the plot couldn't happen, and we don't want that. Yeah, and of course they literally don't even want to see corpses. Like, you say they're dead, what's your proof? They just, like, first of all, if everyone's dead, how are you even like having an emergency call? Or I guess maybe some of the slaves there on the island are still around. But like, you don't even want proof that they're actually dead. You just believe them. And that's when I realized, holy shit, Hapes is literally Wakanda, but for women. It's like the entire way of how you get to power. It's so stupid. And it kind of makes you wonder how is this society supposed to prosper if it's like not even like, oh, they have the occasional War of the Roses and then everything settles. No, that's like they are in a War of the Roses into perpetuity. That's like their default state. So like, how do they prosper? I don't believe you. Same way with Wakanda. I don't believe Wakanda is a real place that could, even in the Marvel universe, obviously, prosper. So yeah, there you go. Always was shit, always will be shit. Chapter 21. Last but not least. Tenelka, she accepts both her lineages and that she needs both her physical strength and also the Force. And, she shouldn't exclude one or the other. Or that, she doesn't have to.
Never thought she did, but okay.
I kind of thought this was the lesson that she got from book 1 already. When she was like, I kind of am shit at the Force, and that's bad. I thought we had that covered. I guess we didn't. Oh yeah, she gets gifted a tiara That's like the symbol of the princess. Obviously, she doesn't want the tiara because she kind of still doesn't accept her lineage, I guess. So she smashes the tiara into pieces and takes the jewels out of it and constructs her new lightsaber with those jewels.
How?
I
With
mean,
Jaina's little baking oven.
maybe.
She melts it into one jewel.
I guess the thing is, like, you could literally just pour multiple crystals into a lightsaber and it works. I guess that's what I'm supposed to get from this.
But it's supposed to be a focusing crystal. How does it focus if it's shattered?
I guess only the tiara itself is shattered, not the actual jewels.
No. But like, there's multiple jewels. You put that into one spot. Light reflects and refracts.
True. Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay.
That's it.
It just works.
It works because the book says so.
I didn't think of it that way, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah. If you think about it, the book says it works, so of course it works. Yeah, and she now insists on having a spar with Jason. He doesn't want to, understandably so, but they have one anyway. Everything turns out well. The four, everyone are buddies. And the end. That's it. That was a nice lightsaber. Oof. Yeah. What do we say about this? How do we feel?
I think I'm sticking with a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's got stuff that I like, which is different than the last 3 books.
True. That's true. It's kind of like a fever dream on LSD.
No, did you zoom further in?
What? I'm sorry.
Oh, did you just notice?
I just noticed you zoomed further in.
Yeah, a little bit. All you see now are his, judging eyes and his glorious mustache.
Yeah. How much further in can you go?
Well, let's find out.
In charge of the U.S. nuclear weapons, that's like, yeah.
That's terrifying to think about that this is real. It was for 12 years.
We have to have that on Mac's screen, in charge of U.S. nuclear weapons. I mean, yeah, that is really scary, man. At some point, you would just have the nose. There would be nothing else.
Look at his mother of pearl eyes.
His mother of pearl eyes. Yeah. Most of the book is still like a fever dream on LSD, but there are these. I mean, they're all on Hapes, basically. Mother of pearl eyes. These really like actually fantastic character scenes, unironically.
Written by Kevin's wife.
Yeah,
It has to be.
It has to. Yeah, there's no way. Like I don't believe any of those great scenes are from him. Yeah, so that leaves me like I kind of like I was really negative after the book because I mean it still ends on a weird note. I had like 3 out of 10, maybe even a 2. I think now that we spoke about it, I'm far more positive about it. Actually, I would say, yeah, so definitely not a 2, at least like a 3. I think I might be like with a 3.5 or something because it's noticeably better than everything else so far from the series. So yeah, this one's actually like.
I wonder it'll be noticeably better than the next one.
The Dark Knight Returns.
It'll be noticeably. It'll be noticeable. Let's say it that way. Though that's kind of a lie, also. But okay. Yeah, that's really all there is to say. I think. Yeah. Conclusion. Read Junior Jedi Knights as usual.
Or be extra smart and just read the Jude Watson stuff.
That
do both.
Yeah, why not do both? That's fine. Yeah, that's really all I had to say. I assume you guys also don't have anything to add anymore. So Yeah, next week we'll have Darkest Night, or Return of the Dark Knight, of course, the actual title.
Mhm.
And considering I'm gonna not read anything else but Young Jedi Knights now, which is like the scariest thing I've said in a while.
You had the chance to stop,
I
to
had,
take a little break, but you decided against it.
yeah. The more I like did other things in the time where I had, a bit of time to spare for reading, I'm like, oh, I'm just prolonging the inevitable the longer I read other things. So I'm like, when I got time for reading, I might as well just read this and get it over with.
You know what an asshole you are? You got me to start the Fitzek book.
I asked you, like, hey, and I specifically said it's not set in stone that I'll even read it. I'm thinking about maybe doing it, and I asked you whether you already did read it. Now you started and you're like basically done, probably.
I mean, I'm 140 pages in, so I will finish this tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you have a good memory with books, so as soon as I might read that, you're like still gonna remember everything from it, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
decent so far. I'm hooked.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good to know.
Is it better than Tom King Batman?
A little bit.
A little
I know
bit.
that's a high bar, but yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's Tom King. So yeah, next week definitely Darkest Night. That's in the back already, and I'll probably be finished with Jedi Under Siege at that point as well. So
God, I can't fucking believe you're really doing every book by itself. I would just do it by story arc and just get through
We
with
can't
it.
get it that fast. It's
Yeah. These are children's books.
that's the sad part.
I mean, look at it this way. Like we have kind of like required 2 hours per book at this point pretty consistently. Like if I did 3, let's say, that would be a 6-hour stream. I which I actually don't even have the time for. So thank fuck I don't make that. And like we could like do 2 books, which would be fine. It would be 4 hours probably. I mean, the next book, like Darkest Night, I think I have like maybe 30 to 60 minutes of notes for Darkest Night. So yeah, we might just do that as a double episode because fuck that.
There's gonna be a lot to say about Jedi Under Siege.
I
fine.
somehow don't believe you, but we shall see.
It is the best because it's just action from start to finish, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't even have the time. I mean, it still
The
has
ending doesn't even have a wrap up. I'm just gonna say this right now.
Oh, I mean, that's not
Like
even gonna
it finishes the story threads that were open,
be. Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't call it a satisfying conclusion. And that's the last book that was like, I mean, that is still available in German. They did translate the Diversity Alliance,
Yeah, they did, but it's like,
but not the last 3.
and it's like 100 euros per book. Like,
Except you're smart and just get the ebooks.
yeah, of course. So yeah, that's it. So definitely stream next week. Probably Darkest Night and Jedi Under Siege together because fuck that, I want to be done with. Yeah, so thanks for listening and have a good day. Bye bye.